no wonder people are hesitating to donate to their charity when their executive directors seem to be not as committed as a, certainly the Prince and Princess of Wales are to their charity endeavors. But yeah, this is interesting to me, Eamon and Isabel, because Harry and Meghan they've had somebody talk to TMZ, which is the big celebrity news site here in the States, because they want to clear the air here. They think that this story is garbage. They say that they are not in the red because they're not a corporation, and this is just the UK media making a big deal out of nothing. But interesting to me that a source close to Archewell can talk to TMZ about Archewell in the red, but I'm sorry to do this, sorry to bring it up again, but no word on Endgame.
Yeah, interesting that, isn't it? The first time we've heard from them at all, and they haven't done anything to say we had nothing to do with Endgame, but they did come out and defend their charity. Very astute observation, Kinsey. It's funny, the Sun newspaper really gunning for the pair this morning. They've got the headline, Hollywood's biggest losers, and they actually list the catalogue of, disasters that they've had, which when you see it written in order, it is shocking. They had the podcast dropped. They had ridicule on South Park. They had a back row seat for the coronation. They had the bust up over the book Spare. Then they were kicked out of Frogmore. They've had the bust up over the book Endgame. They've had the Netflix documentary Outrage, and they've been pictured at concerts looking miserable. It's been a bad year.
It has been a bad year, and I don't, I feel like we would have a completely different opinion of them if they spent the same amount of time at concerts, publicly. To me, it's like, you're not Santa Claus. You can't work one day a year, Invictus, and then want us all to admire your charitable contributions. If we saw them out and about more, under the radar, even just the way that Kate will randomly drop off things to baby banks that we don't know about. They need to think more about other people, and they really need to focus more on people hurting in the States, because that's where they live now. And I think that maybe perhaps that could turn people's opinions around about them, but also they've got to let go of their animosity towards the British royal family, because I'm an American wearing my Union Jack over here. We absolutely adore the British royal family.
Well, what does Archewell do?
That's a great question, Eamon. I'd love to know the answer to that. I think when we think of what Harry and Meghan contribute, there's the Invictus Games, which is great, although I would say from the ground up that was built by not only Harry, but the royal family and everybody that helped him build that within the palace, that palace staff that helped him build that from the ground up. Archewell, what we have tangibly seen them do is insert themselves, attach themselves to other charities that are contributing. There are no real original concepts from Archewell. They just go to other charities that are doing things and say, hey, can we tack on to this? And it'll be Harry and Meghan are helping out with this. And that's really what we've seen them do over the last year.
It paid more than $500,000 to its 5 members of staff, apparently, as well. So that's interesting.
Are they included in that?
Yeah.
5 members of staff?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. They pay themselves?
No, they're not. They do not.
Sorry.
They do not.
Sorry, they don't pay themselves. I thought you meant didn't realise they meant the couple. Yes, they don't pay themselves. No. Just the 5 staff. So there we go.
There we go.
I suppose it's always a difficult area if I'm being fair, as I like to be, even the King, he's been mired in a bit of controversy when there were suitcases of cash being delivered, weren't there, to the then Prince's Trust. So the royals can get themselves into difficulty, although they obviously famously want to do good work. As always, the newspapers are always looking for a story. Yeah,
but the feeling here, Kinsey, is they're not so much doing good work as doing good work for themselves, rehabilitating their image, making this all about their image as well. And they're not as royal as Isabel would have them be. They're not true royals.
No, they're not working royals. Well, they are HRHs, yeah.
No. So do we care? Do we care what Archewell does, really? That's the question.
I think all eyes are on what Harry and Meghan do to survive. And this is a sign that they are failing. And so people are interested in this storyline, because if they can't succeed at the charity circuit, if they can't succeed in Hollywood, and you just mentioned they're considered one of the biggest losers in Hollywood from The Hollywood Reporter, then what can they do to survive? Because the royal family is done with them. You know, I think that they're in desperate times now. What are the next steps?
I've got a suggestion.
I'm a celebrity, get me out of here. That's the next step.
I was going to say, I've got a suggestion. Just stop whinging. You know, do something positive, and people might have a more positive view of them. But their strategy has just been so negative. All right, Kinsey, we have to say goodbye. Thank you so much. You always light up our mornings. Lovely to see you.